Hi, welcome to the Tourette's Association New Zealand 2023 wrap-up. I'm just taking this opportunity to introduce myself to those that are new to the community or that I have not got around to see. My name is Emma Henderson and I am the General Manager of the Tourette's Association New Zealand, or what we refer to as TANZ. I've been in the role for about 5 or 6 months now, absolutely loving it. I am a sibling of someone with Tourette and now an auntie to a few nephews with Tourette. So I do have an affiliation with it and a real strong passion for it. I am presenting today a few of our key priorities, some of our strategies, and just to see how you as our community can get involved. Just a quick summary about our current TANZ board and staff. We have a really strong board now of a mixture of professions, specialties, areas that they are really focused on to help support me. I still do remain on the board as well, which is where I started in my journey with TANZ. So we have currently John Hurd, who is our acting chairperson. We have Julie Naden, who is our treasurer. We have Shelley Reynolds, who has been on the board, probably our longest serving member, who is a businesswoman and mother of a child living with Tourette. We have Richard Cooper, who comes from a strong health sector and government relations background. And we have Rebecca Chesterman, who is our latest or newest addition to the board, who has a very strong marketing background. I myself have a marketing, PR, comms, and I guess association management background. So between us all, we are really positioned to drive forward. We've set some strategies which we'll share with you today, and going forward, how you can be involved, as I mentioned. Just want to do a big hello and a shout out to obviously Hayley, who works with us at TANZ, and you guys probably have the most contact with her as part of our community. So big thank you to Hayley for everything she's done this year and will continue to do next year. I have a little presentation that I'll take you through now, but yeah, just bear with me. There may be some technical issues while I figure this out, but we'll get there. Okay, let's do this. Okay, hopefully that's on screen for you all. So as I mentioned, I'm just going to take you through a bit of a strategic vision, what we're working on that you as our community can help with or be involved with or keep an eye out and share the message. It really is going to take our community and our wider community to help reach a lot of what we're going to be working on. So I do invite you to get involved, to speak up, speak out, speak loud and proud for us. Come to me with any questions, queries or concerns, or Hayley, and anything that you can help us with along the way. I'm going to be referring to our community quite a lot going forward, so you may notice that. Just a bit of a heads up, and I think I have sort of sent it out in a few newsletters, we no longer talk about members because a membership sort of is something that excludes others. We don't have a membership, we don't charge anymore. We want to add value to our community free of charge going forward. And we want that community to not just include those that are living with or associated with Tourette's, but the medical professional, educators, government officials, grandparents, caregivers, friends. We invite everyone and anyone to become a knowledge expert and a participant of the Tourette's Association New Zealand, or TANZ, as I will refer to it throughout this. So let's get into this. Please, if you have any questions, email me. My email address will be at the end. But any questions or where you can help or get involved, just give me a bell. Now, I might be looking all over the place, so apologies in advance, but I'm screen sharing. It may not work for you guys, but it's the only way I'm going to be able to get through it. So let's go. So I just wanted to say, as part of our strategy, we have set our final mission and vision. Our mission is to help those affected by tics grow up in a world that supports and encourages them to be the best they can be through awareness, connectivity, exclusivity, and acceptance. And our vision is to build a tic-friendly world. Now, we're using tics because instead of just saying Tourette's, we do want, again, our community to be wider than just the Tourette focus. So that is why we're using the word tic. So just quickly what we're going to cover in today's session, our strategy, with particular focus on the next 6 months where we need immediate help and priority. Some of the key projects that we are and will be and will continue to work on, which is research and innovation, being school kits, advocacy, which is the medical advisory committee, awareness, so our new website, branding and a campaign, financial sustainability, sorry about the spelling mistake, corrected on the other one, which is including sponsorships and grants, and what else? And then how can you help us? So whilst we're here to help you, we do need you to help us. So we've put together, like I said, a 3 to 5 year business plan, and we've broken it down into the top priorities. And we've taken the priorities and identified this strategy on a page, which is what us, the board, use to keep us on track and accountable. We have broken it into 4 key areas. There are more areas within this in our wider strategy, but as I said, this is a 6-month focus. We can't do everything all at once, and even the smaller things we have, it is time consuming. It does take up a lot of time, so we do constantly refresh it. Within this presentation, I'm going to show you what initiatives we're doing that cover each of these 4 areas. So we are looking at, over the next 6 months, and let's face it, probably 12 months, awareness, advocacy, research and innovation, and fundraising or financial stability and sustainability. So we need to make sure all of these are covered, and it is a cycle. One leads to the other. When we're strong in one, the rest will follow. So, excuse me. So let's go through those now. We'll start with the school kits, which is under the research and innovation. And I know a lot of you out there are keen on this coming through into fruition. We are working on it hard at the moment. It is the very first of its kind. So there are so many learnings that are happening while we're building this, and the provider that we're working with hasn't done anything like this before. So we are very excited about it, but it is taking time. But there is an opportunity for you guys to be involved, which I have put a casting call out for, but come on board if you want to. So I'm just going to quickly take you through what the school kits, that's not the final name of it, that's the working name. So the school kits is all about. What it is we give our community 3 vouchers, and those 3 vouchers are to give to key educators or professionals that really have an impact in the child's life. So they give those vouchers to an educator, and this is at no cost to families or teachers if they're given the voucher. We then ask those teachers to complete an online course. They do this in their own time or on the school's designated time as part of their professional development. And it's designed and delivered to gain an understanding of Tourette's and how it can be best managed in the classroom. So not just what Tourette looks like, because we know there's a spectrum, but how it can be managed in the classroom in particular. This will be written content, but also really high impact videos, talking to other teachers who have experience, talking to youth who have just completed or currently are completing, and also to parents to understand how the relationship works. So we're trying to cover the whole spectrum and watch videos of real life talking. You know, we're not scripting it. We're asking our community to really show and experience what it is like in the classroom. Like I said, along with written content that we are sourcing from international sources and obviously our own knowledge. So that's a fantastic course in itself. But I think the real key benefit of what we're offering with those vouchers is that at the end of this course, once they've completed the online course and do have an understanding of Tourette and what it's like in the classroom, we then will have an online facilitated meeting between the teacher or educator, between the family, including the youth, and between a TANZ facilitator who will manage the conversation. That at the moment, that TANZ facilitator is going to be someone that is living with Tourette and has a real life experience. And I think that's really key, the empathy, the understanding, and the knowledge to be able to have that conversation. So these conversations will facilitate, in particular, what that student presents with their Tourette, how that student wants to learn, how that student wants to be addressed in the classroom. Do the peers want to be, do they want the peers to know, you know, understanding what their level of Tourette is, because as we know, it's very varied. So I think that's the real benefit for it. And personally, the thing that gets me really excited. So we are working on the content, like I said, right now. We've put a call out to people who are interested in being part of this content. Email me, gm@tourettes.org.nz, if you want to be part of it. We have quite a few people who can speak of living with Tourette, but we are still looking for parents and we are still looking for teachers or educators. So if you have a great teacher, not necessarily this year, it could have been a few years ago, that really understood what TS is like, or by the end of it understood what it was like in the classroom, please send them through. Look, it's a day out filming. We do require a day of their time. It will be unpaid, unfortunately, but we will look at being able to fly them to do the filming. So, but they obviously have to have consent. So yeah, if you do have a teacher in particular, or you as a parent or family member or wider community want to be involved in this video, please do. So we are hoping to kick this off in early or in 2024. It's a huge project. And what we have to do is make sure the content is right. It might be that we just do step 2 first in the online content in the videos, because obviously it comes down to finance, and paying for an online facilitator to be part of this is where the cost comes in. We've raised enough to write the course and design the course, which is why it's underway now, but the ongoing staffing of the facilitation is where we are sort of trying to find the funding for it now. We have plans for this. The idea is that above and beyond the 3 vouchers that our community get at the beginning of the year or whenever it comes live, we want other teachers in the school to be recommended it. We want it to become part of their CPD, which they will pay for out of their school funds, etc. So the idea is that this does become financially sustainable in the future. We just have to get it up and running, and really impactful. But as you can see, getting the content right is key. If we don't have the content right, it won't be recommended to everyone else. Now, aiming high, and we're going to put it out there, aiming high is we have something similar planned, mainly steps sort of 1 and 2 being an online course only, not necessarily the facilitation, is for this to be rolled out to medical professionals so they can do it as part of their own CPD. But we want to get this out there first because that really does impact our community. But there are hopes for this, which will obviously lead to further financial stability too, or sustainability as well. Medical Advisory Committee. So this is under advocacy. I'm putting this under advocacy, but it's also part of research and innovation. We are in the process of currently establishing a medical advisory committee. This committee is going to play a really crucial role in guiding our advocacy, research, and education initiatives within the Tourette's community. In the first instance, this will be a subcommittee within the TANZ board. However, we do see this committee becoming its own entity and its own charity in the future once we have it set up and running with the key people, the key strategies, and the key competencies. A few reasons for this is because that arm, or if it's its own charity, it is able to get better grants of the medical variety. We are still going to apply for them. They do carry more weight when they're putting advocacy forward because they are medical professionals. So we currently put a call out to invite people to be part of this. If you have a doctor or someone in the medical professional, in the medical profession that you think has just got the knowledge and the drive and the ability that you think could really benefit the Tourette's Association of New Zealand, please do send me their contact details and we will approach them and invite them to be part of our medical advisory committee. We already have a couple of people that we have approached and are in discussions with, and what they're aware of. So advocacy. So this is what we're sort of charging with them in the first instance, is they're the ones that are going to advocate on our behalf. Whilst we've been driving the disability petition at the moment, the Medical Advisory Committee, in association with the board and our wider community, will be driving the advocacy forward. They're the ones that have the data and knowledge and insight. They're the ones that can talk to the medical professionals within the government and that sort of thing. We will also be taking our community on the journey with us because they need to hear from us. So don't think it's being pushed just to them and not us. It's a cohesive sort of project that we're working on with them. Research. Now, this is huge, obviously, but the Medical Advisory Committee can help with research, get the grants with research, really take it and run with it, find out, implement research projects. They know the profession, they know the industries that they can, and the people that they can work with. And education, they will write materials, programs, and resources, and foster great awareness of Tourette syndrome within it. They can handle the presentations, they can go and speak on people's behalf, etc. Now, I just want to touch on advocacy here. As you can see, it falls under this. So there is going to be a shift in this focus, and this is identified within the committee. We will continue to keep focusing on our current petition to be recognised as a disability. The change of government and everything that's going on at the moment really does put us back to square one, which is a good opportunity because we get to state our vision and voice again, and we're going to do it within the Medical Advisory Committee, like I said, in conjunction with TANZ though. We're also going to do a few other things with advocacy. I think that going straight to be recognised as a disability is a run before we can walk. And we want to get there. It's always going to be our aim. But we also need some other things in the process. So what we're going to do is we're going to have quite a few petitions and a few advocacy programs going at once, which is completely normal and something that can be done. And one, like I mentioned earlier, one will flow on to the other. The first thing to do is we're going to advocate for data. So at the moment, we don't know the stats within New Zealand of who, how many, or anything like that. And so we're going to actually ask the government to collect that data for us, which they can do. So that's the first program, or first part of it, always working towards being recognised as a disability. The second part is a pathway to diagnosis. We can't get physical numbers of people diagnosed without having a diagnosis pathway that is consistent and clear across the whole country. Who better to do that than the Medical Advisory Committee, where they will come up with and design a pathway to diagnosis and send that out to the government and say, this is how we want it to be. Do the legwork for them. Obviously, once we've got a diagnosis pathway, then it should be an easier step to be recognised as a disability once we have the numbers, the pathway, and the steps. So those are the 3 advocacy programs we're actually working on. Again, always with us leading the recognised as a disability. That's not going anywhere. That will continue to be our focus. We just want additional information in the meantime, which will actually strengthen our case ultimately. So really excited about this Medical Advisory Committee, really excited by it. Like I said, it will sit under the board in the interim with the idea that it will be its own entity. We don't have timeframes for that. We're not going to make that a case until it is of a substantial value to the association. The website and the rebrand. Look, this is a journey. Our website is the first port of call for anyone that is freshly diagnosed with Tourette. For medical professionals, often go on it and Google it. And at the moment, it's just a bit clunky. It's just a bit, and we can actually update it very easily. So we're just doing a rebrand at the moment of it. And this will include information and resources in a library that people can go to that has checklists if you're going to the doctor, tips if you're going to the doctor about, what to talk about, what to say, record your child, for example, what to expect in your journey. But we're also going to be having a lot of videos available of people who are in our community. So if you'd like to be cast in these videos, we've got quite a few videos. I would love a broader spectrum, so not the same talent is being used across them. But if you have a story that you'd like to tell about what it's like to live with Tourette, or explain it, imagine someone new as a parent or someone new as a youth living with Tourette, and they want to watch someone that's gone through this journey with them. So sing out if you want to be included in this video. We want to build our library up for this. So we want to have, like I said, international research, our video and our content, updates from the Medical Advisory Committee, updates from us, the events that we're going to run, the Zoom things that we're going to run, Awareness Month campaigns, our current social media campaigns, our mini campaigns, things like this. So it's just going to be our resource library, and we hope that's going to be live in about February. And then a rebrand. So we're to have greater alignment with international Tourette syndrome associations and the brands, we're pushing towards the new teal colour, which is actually the international Tourette syndrome colour. So we are having a sort of push towards that, and this logo will be launched in Q1 of 2024. It's just a refresh. It's not a complete rebrand. We absolutely love what the current logo stands for, but we're just looking at doing that, and like I said, watch this space. So very, very similar to what we were doing before in the rebrand and the refresh and the website, is that it's all about awareness as well. So we are actually going to be creating a new awareness campaign, and we're going to be doing some media within it, and we've got some ideas at the moment. We've got some agencies coming on board to support us, and it's all building to have a large focus on Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month, which is in May, June. We will be looking for our members of our community again to feature in this. So like I said, we've got lots of different campaigns. It would be great to have as many of you out there as we can sort of come on board and help us. Reach out if you're keen to be involved. We currently have what this campaign is going to be looking like in our head, but it is just a storyboard at the moment, and we're going to be working with the agency to come on board with that. Another key project is our fundraising and grants. look, let's face it, without the money, we can't do any of these amazing projects that we're wanting to put out there. We need to become financially sustainable. We need to move on from only relying on grants and donations, and we need to look at corporate sponsorships and partnerships. We're currently reliant on grants and donations, except for a very few, very small corporates that are on board historically. Again, they're of no substantial value in terms of us going forward. We do have projects that we want to generate income for us, but it costs money to get those projects off the board. So that's where we are really putting our hand out to us as our wider community. If you can think of a company that we can approach, if you can think of a company that can become a sponsor for us, we've got a big year ahead of us. We are going to be a really recognised association. That's our hope. We're putting it out there. And if they come on board now, they can come along with us for the journey. So if you know of someone that can help us as a sponsorship or a partnership, or, financial donations, in-kind product, time, in lieu, pro rata, pro bono, anything like that, do let us know and sing out, gm@tourettes.org.nz. My email is going to be on the end of this presentation. This is really key for us because we can't achieve all these things we're wanting to do without the actual finances. So, this is where we help when we ask. So what else? There's a few other things that we're working on. We have a back to school passport coming out for you guys at the end of January. And this is just a document that you can put together for your child to present to their teacher before School Kits is rolled out. And then it just explains what Tourette's is, what Tourette's looks like for your child in particular, how your youth wants that managed in the classroom or anything else. We're going to send a reminder out at the beginning of each term to update it because, as we know, things change within the life of a TS child. So update it regularly and give it back. The school can keep this on file, share it with all the teachers that your child comes in contact with or anything like that, but just keep them aware of what is currently presenting. They may have the same teacher as last year, but your symptoms may be presenting differently at the moment. We are invited currently with Whaikaha to be involved in a review of the eligibility for disability support services. So we are part of a small number of associations that have been invited who currently aren't currently eligible for disability support, and we're working through a program to identify how this can be changed and what is needed for more people to be supported. We're working alongside some absolutely fantastic other associations who also have really frustrated stories and that sort of thing, and it's really great to be included and recognised in this. So we'll keep you updated with what's going on. At the moment, we're just in the scope and the spectrum, scope phase of what the project's going to look like, but we'll update you when we have a clearer idea of what our deliverables are within that project. We are coming back with some merch with the new logo. So at the moment, we're going to be including a design competition. We want our community to come up with some merchandise for us. We have a really simple slogan that we're putting out there that will change quite regularly. So we're going to do probably 2 different merch runs a year. When our new awareness campaign, which I mentioned before, comes out, we'll do another competition. But it will be with our new logo, and it's a really lovely colour to wear and to use, the teal. So watch this space. We'll be putting it out there. Design the logo, design the merchandise for us, and you could win a really great prize, just a voucher, but a good voucher. Maybe summer holidays, summer activity for the youth, for the kids, or for the adults. But yeah, just keep an eye out. We'll be sending that out over the summer. You may have noticed our social media is going pretty hard at the moment, and we are launching regular mini campaigns. So we want about 3 or 4 a year of just a give a little or Raisley campaign, just asking people just a one-off donation. Every little bit helps, but it's also awareness. So share that campaign with your wider community and that sort of thing when they come out. And yeah, it'll be great. And then finally, Camp Twitch. Look, it's back on next year, same place as this year. So the reason we're doing it in the same place and not alternating islands, which I know some people have requested for, but in terms of us being able to run a really efficient camp that gives the best benefit to the people that are attending, it is easier for us to run it in a place that we actually know. And there's no unknowns when we get there, and we can easily run it and work it. It is central. It was a fantastic location. We do want larger numbers this year, and we are looking at subsidising it again. But start your fundraising now. Come to me if you need to know any local things in your area that you can get sort of funding from. I know a lot of the local grant places. If you're really local, they'll often fund you to get up there. So get in touch if you want any ideas with fundraising for camp, but we are looking to subsidise it again. And I will be there again. And I'll tell you what, it was one of the best things I could ever have done to get to know our community and be welcomed in by our communities to attend Camp Twitch, and just seeing the joy that comes from it with our youth that attend, and also the parents get a lot out of it. So, the chats that happened around the the biscuit tins and that sort of thing, or while we're watching the activities, they were really invaluable chats. And a lot came out of it for us. So a lot of our strategies and priorities, it's nice to hear that we're all aligned. Then finally, how can you help? You can continue to be our advocates. We need you to be our champions and to promote Tourette syndrome, to promote our association and be an active and vocal part of our community. We need financial support. Do you have a company that you could recommend we approach? Financial or goods in kind? Do you know of local grants or people that we can approach? Having seen some of our key priorities and what we're working on, is there a contact you have that can help us or give us a leg up? We run this on grants and associations. It's just Hayley and myself running it. As much passion as we have, we can't do it without the finances. So how can you help? Be our champions, be our voice, and be our leaders with us. So that's it in a nutshell, what we have been working on, some of the big projects. These aren't fast-moving projects, as you can see, but we're constantly working on them. We're constantly doing other little things in the backgrounds. We have the Zoom calls restarted. Keep an eye out for a back-to-school one in January. If you're an adult and you want to lead and facilitate one of our chats, give us a bell. We have a Q&A with Adam Belcher. I'll send out the recording of that earlier in the new year. Actually, I'll try and send it out today. Just there's some technology things. Bear with me. We have other ones lined up, other Q&As lined up. If you want to be an industry expert, let us know. If you know a doctor that we can approach for the medical advisory committee, let us know. If you have a teacher that you think could be an amazing person that could speak on camera on part of Tourette's, let us know. But mainly just be our advocates. So that's about it from me. Have a great holiday season. We are back up at the end of January, but we are available on email across that time if you need us for anything, and projects are still working in the meantime. But I intend to have some beach time, some pool time, and some time with my family, and I hope you guys all have the same. But 2024 is going to be big. Let's all get on board with this together. Thanks, everyone.